Connecting to groups that are focused on creating energy. Blogging and tweeting, using individual talents to bring issues to the forefront. Videos of local efforts, tours of creative projects, plays that deal with climate change. I can't remember who I was talking to about that.
Right.
Was it?
You were talking about it.
Oh, yes, you were talking about it, that's right.
Plays that deal with
Yeah,
climate.
with
Oh,
the-
yes.
Yeah, getting media attention. And that is really a tricky one because for the kickoff, I mean, I can't tell you how many places we contacted and encouraged, media outlets to come, and nobody did. It was very discouraging. Although KCCK, gas station in Cedar Rapids, covered it pretty nicely. That was good. Spotlight renewable companies, legislators to tour renewable energy sites, understanding divestment, colleges competing to be greenest, discussion groups, natural plantings, landscape along the roads, prairies, millions, involve young people, school groups, church groups, find ways to create open-minded conversations, learning experiences, and then what can we really do with the great ideas.
Letters to the editor. We
Letters.
have had several people in this very room
Yes,
who
yeah,
have
that's
written
right.
letters to the editor.
Yeah.
Good ones. And we had a great article in the paper on solar.
Yes. Okay. I mean, I didn't.
What was the focus of that article?
Solar.
Climate disaster and charity relief work. Public, including social media, elected official engagement, popular term is bird dogging, citizens climate lobby. Wasn't sure what videos meant, but need to break the topic into small, bite-sized pieces and reach out to individual persons as opposed to whole groups or small groups. Find ways to make it a money issue or hit the pocketbook. Work through community college. Not doing things the way they've been done before. Being seen in public. Developing relationships with the media. Making contacts with high school groups and colleges. And using the various different ways to do that with the Sierra Club, University of Iowa Business School. Newsletters, marketing plan, tap into senior populations. There's a lot of those around here in Iowa. They have a lot of time, money, interest, and experience. Don't know about the money, but the other things. Presentations to schools. The Speakers Bureau was one that we came up with several times, that if we could develop that, it would be good. Showing films like Merchant of Doubt, Merchants of Doubt, and then there was The Power of Community, which is a new film about how Cuba survived going off of oil when Russia left. Develop a film, a book library, kind of like what we're doing up here. And I think that's just repetitive. Make sure we get into elementary and middle schools, get the money to go.
So I'll do the Go Green one. Let's see, we've got ideas here like buy organic, non-GMO, support Iowa community-supported agriculture. For those who might not know, this is where you work with a local farmer and you agree to pay so much money, say, every month, and you get fresh produce to whatever they're producing that month. I know there are such places around this area that do that. Edible landscaping, permaculture, better farming practices, low input landscaping, green architecture. One of the groups added insulate existing homes, renewable heating, rain barrels, support local orgs like Wikiup Hill, Prairie Woods, Indian Creek Nature Center, Trees Forever. Alternative transportation, bikes, hybrids, electric vehicles, mass transit. Education, I threw this one on here, solar panels powering electric cars, no pipeline spills, refinery explosions, or Gulf disasters. Plant trees and prairie native plants, grow organic. Milk, shifting away from cattle to plant-based milk. Redefine clarify the term green and the use of it. Divestment of farm equipment, I'm not quite sure what that means. King Corn, Food Inc., those are both movies you can watch that talk about agriculture's use of fossil fuels and that sort of thing. Establish common ground and definitions for the conversation. Plan and build small efficiency using life cycle analysis. Unplug from electronics. In other words, read books.
That's a crazy idea.
Stop use of pesticides in towns and cities.
Okay.
I just had a question, is the vegetable milk, is that soy milk, is that what's being talked about there? So instead of,
Yeah, soy milk and almond milk.
yeah, we were talking.
There's also rice milk.
Rice milk.
And coconut milk.
They found out in California that 80% of almonds coming out of California, and they are saying that it takes 1 gallon of water for each almond.
I had lunch with an almond farmer recently that said that that was way overstated. But that was an almond farmer.
I don't think he's got some sort of,
He definitely has a.
There, yeah.
Any water for the trees.
but.
Fana, ta-da!
But only 2% of almond milk is almonds.
Almond milk is probably one of the only ones that's mostly sugar and water. If you want, the best soy milk is by far the most nutritious, healthy. And if you get something that's new and it's automatically, this coconut milk, coconut oil is more saturated than lard. So you can use your comparison for coconut.
Yeah.
That's true. Close to homesteads, photovoltaic panels on the roofs, community solar, city planning, support businesses that carry out environmental practices, change diet to plant-based, local food resources. We're seeing a lot of these topics really in one of the categories. Support climate savvy politicians, or even not climate savvy. I think we're finding out that a lot of them aren't very climate savvy, and we need to make them climate savvy. Support renewable businesses, transition towns, energy, descent plans, okay. We were talking about Dubuque, is that, I don't know exactly what that meant, but Speakers Bureau again, community gardens, plug-in areas for charging stations, vegan education, cooking night, potluck, that would be good. Let's see, farmers markets, privately grown foods, individuals, consolidating travel groups, transportation like bicycles, walking, recycling, getting rid of plastic bags, which Unified Co-op I think is done now. And did Iowa City ban plastic bags?
They were trying.
They are working on it.
Okay, they did.
They are getting traction on that,
Okay.
actually.
Get city council members, county supervisors to speak up, plan city actions to consider rain barrels, permeable paving, industrial hemp, agriculture, construction and clothing, education in schools, faraway problems made in Iowa, dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico.
Fossil free, still focused on consumption. Many ideas relate to transportation, building materials, heating, cooling, construction with materials that are alternative to fossil-based products. The young
Oh,
man
no,
was-
I wrote that.
Okay. The young man who was here from Kentucky.
Oh,
Kentucky's
infill, yeah.
really pursuing hemp as a product. They have, for the last 2 years, run project fields, and I think they're really pushing it.
Does anyone know, like before World War I or before World War II, Iowa had a lot of hemp production.
Yeah, there's still a lot of what they call ditchweed
Right,
growing
yeah.
there, which is from
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I want to mention in Jamestown, it was illegal not to grow hemp.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And the Constitution or the Declaration is also made of hemp.
Written on hemp, yeah.
Wow.
Coming from Denver, I was at a CCL conference there, and there was a gentleman there who writes business plans, and he was working with this huge consortium of farmers who are purchasing a $6 million plant, and they are going to go as soon as it's truly legal, because they've got their own test plots. they're gonna be all over that, although Iowa, I think, is lagging behind because our governor needs to, okay, letting us do our test plots. Anyway, current issues, number 2 is stopping botany. Information that people can understand about the danger of climate change. Iowa's leadership in solar. Build on, used to encourage other states. Getting ordinary people to conserve. How do we do it? Residential solar and wind installations. Moving away from gas cars, supporting climate change, politicians, and calling out those who do not recognize it. McKenna's Law, you can't see it if you don't look at it. Encourage religious organizations to speak out on it. PV panels on houses of worship. Organic farming with minimal fossil energy inputs. Yeah, they all do some, have cross-pollination.
Barbara, you gonna talk about like next steps?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I think the next step, maybe you sort of feel drawn to one sort of general area or another. And I guess for the purposes of today, we'd like you to maybe pick one area. And what we'd like to do is sort of convert some of the things that we've written down to some action items that we can actually, not that obviously we'll be able to have an action item for every idea. We'll be pretty busy, but, at least get started so that if you, let's say you might choose to work on a particular committee or be a part of a particular committee, your committee might have some action items based on some of the things that we have written down here. Does that make sense?
I have a couple of things I'd like to add.
Sure.
One is promoting walkable communities.
Okay, let's see.
Close to home?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can walk to.
It sounds like a blue zone idea.
You may like to actually have sidewalks.
Yeah.
Rather than driving your car 3 blocks to
I think if you're gonna say walkable, I'd say walkable and bikeable.
Yeah.
Marion's doing this park in the alley thing. That's 1 block, and they're gonna clean up the alley and put a park in the alley.
Oh.
And the other one is promoting LEDs. I don't think we have that anymore. And that's kind of a big deal. The price of LEDs apparently came down quite a bit.
Well, that'd be over under fossil free though, wouldn't it?
It'd be close to home as well.
I mean, yeah, it could be.
It also would.
It's also kind of an outreach thing. For example, it's not uncommon for high school band organizations to go around and sell brooms or something like that to people. If we could get high school band fundraising groups to sell 1 LED light bulb, go around to every community in the household, say, support your local high school band or the football team. Buy 1 LED light bulb.
Be sure to put that on the action.
I know, well, we can put it on a read, we can put it on outreach, and we just maybe only get creative, it doesn't fit, although maybe it does fit. With the lights, you might want to have LED lights.
Right, I feel like Big Creative is specific enough where we actually,
I was joking.
This is just a starter for everybody to kind of, so that we all had input on some of these ideas. And then when we kind of gather around some of these main themes, then we'll start organizing around them so that we can start with like small groups. Because we realize, as small groups, it's much easier to get things done sometimes than with a larger group around different ideas. And so I think we'll do that now is just, we'll take some of these off. And if you could, you can see them up there. If you want to align with one particular thing that really resonates with you, so like outreach obviously is, gathering people, fossil free, I mean, they're all pretty intuitive, you all have talked enough about them that you have a pretty good idea of what so what speaks to you the loudest that you are interested in really participating with? And then what we'll do is I'll give these back, we'll put these out in the bigger tables, the tables that are together. Yeah, right. And then I'll grab white sheets of paper and then we'll you can all talk about which of these things really resonate, especially which ones are kind of the low-hanging fruit, which are some of the things that we can have like our quick successes with and kind of knock out and get like a quick check off would be nice too. But which are some of the things that we need more people, that maybe we need to develop a little bit more. So be thinking both short and long term as to what this group can do, because really it's up to us to decide what this group is going to look like. So I will just go ahead, we'll just kind of gather these and some tables over here. And like I said, just if you want to just, and that doesn't mean that you have to like stick with a certain particular area or anything. But what we're also trying to do is gather who is interested in which areas as well, so that we can help organize people and get started basically.
And then I might just remind people, and I haven't done this either, but don't forget to put up some, because, you know, that will determine, like, if you want to participate in regular meetings, you know, let us know when, and that's.
Yeah, when it works for you, that's really the biggest thing,
Yeah.
is when it works. So, does that make sense for everybody?